I'm Jake. I'm a composer. I'm a sound designer and a programmer. I've taught a couple of modules at DBS, including sound design for film and a few workshops for the game audio course. In my work, I'm freelancing as a sound designer and an audio implementer in games.
I'm Emma Stray, I'm 24, I've been a software developer since I was 18, and last year I decided to quit my job and start a degree in sound design for games at DBS.
So my name's Finn Schofield, I'm an audio programmer / game audio implementer, and I'm going into my third year at DBS Music. So a game audio implementer can be either someone who takes pre-made audio files and puts them into a game, or it can be someone who designs systems for other people to do that job, or it could be both. It's just quite a big spectrum of things that it could be.
I definitely describe it as a jack of all trades role. There's a lot to it. It's not just sound design or composing songs. It's live recording, so that it's getting hands-on in the studio. There's a lot of programming involved. You have to be comfortable with computers and software and good file management as well.
Sound designer and audio implementer are they're difficult to disentangle because especially in games, you almost need to do it backwards. So the implementation is the thing that you think of first. Where is it going to go in the game? How is it going to work? What role is this sound playing and where do we want to hear it? And then you would design it for that specific purpose. So I've found that the two go together very well. Having said that, when you're working with a team and you have lots of great sound designers who can provide you with all of those things, and you can just focus on working in Wise or Fmod and putting it into the game, that's where you get a little bit more freedom to say, well, this is how the overarching system's going to work. And you almost get to instruct the sound designers, this is what I need you to make for me. And then you're the person that puts it all together. So it's a great feeling to get all of these source files thrown at you, and then you're the person that makes it all work, and you get this great result at the end where you feel that you've assembled this amazing like Lego brick castle into the finished product. I like the mixture of creative and logical, where you get to imagine the scene before it's finished and then actualizing that, where you can say, okay, this is going to sound great because we've got this over here and this over here, and then this lovely 2D ambience bed, and then this amazing sound effect that's going to come in and duck everything down and give this amazing emotion. And you can plan all that in your head. And then you have the logical problem solving bit where you say, but actually, how am I going to do that? And what tools do I have in Wise or Fmod that allows me to do that? Or if they're not available, what can the programmer make for me so that I can then do that? And it's a great it's a team building effort really, because there are so many questions that need answers. And as the implementer, it's your job to say, this is how we're going to do it and this is why. And then everybody in the team can stick to the pattern that you've made. And then you can say, you're not doing it right. So yeah, the thing that I really like is you're kind of the glue, and you're kind of you get to finally put together what the sound designers have been imagining, where you can say, lovely music, here's the triggers that we're going to put, this is when in the game it's going to change, and this is the impact it's going to have. So it's that lovely balance between creative and logical that I really enjoy.
I think the combination of creativity and sort of technical skills, I'm naturally quite a creative person, but I find it often with creativity is that it lacks a kind of a framework. It lacks structure. You end up kind of in this transient, ethereal realm, not really knowing where you're going. But with a sort of programming aspect to it, it helps structure things and provide a framework. Also, just being able to do something that I enjoy. I mean, I guess that's kind of a cliche, but it's lovely being able to just sort of wake up and work on something that I don't feel begrudging to do, you know?
I absolutely love the variety that is brought to my day-to-day life. As I mentioned to you earlier, I have been a software developer for years, and I felt a bit sedentary, staring at code all day, sitting at the same desk. So I absolutely love now that I am still doing programming, because I do enjoy it. But my days can look very different. Sometimes I'm out in the studio. Sometimes I'm playing my instruments. Sometimes I'm out walking around on an adventure trying to find good Foley sounds. I feel like this is the most I've played piano since before I started a full-time job, because now it's part of my profession to be good at piano. So yeah, I really do love that it's so varied. I think, yeah, that's definitely been one of my favourite things about it.
Inadequacy is a big one, where you just feel that you haven't got the right gear, you haven't got enough time, you haven't got enough knowledge, everyone's better than you. I think that's a really big barrier that I and a lot of other people have to contend with, because we know that it's quite a competitive industry. We feel that the people that have got the jobs must be just insanely good. But it's just a case of just working at it, and it happens over time. Like I started doing this in 2014, so it's taken me 5 years, 6 years to get my first game shipped. But yeah, that was definitely a barrier, and it's something that everybody contends with.
Before starting out, I definitely wished I had spent more time studying the science and the maths behind sound, even if it's just enough to be able to understand some of the plugins or functionality that you're using in your DAW, what it's actually doing to the sound wave that you have. I definitely wish I had spent more time studying that, because when it comes to your creative process and you're in flow and you're feeling quite artsy and you want to express yourself, it can really interrupt your flow to then have to go off and study what's going on behind the scenes to make the sound that you want to make. So I definitely found towards the end of my first term, when I was in my creative flow, I was having a lot less interruptions because I had already knew what was going on there. So that would definitely be my biggest advice.
Working in a team doing programming, that was something I struggled with, because I think working with a team creatively, it's a little bit easier because you can it is more conceptual, you sort of bounce ideas off of each other and then you can sort of build things. But with programming, it's the same thing, but there are still frameworks and there are right things to do and wrong things to do, and often you won't know what they are when you first start out. And so, yeah, it's easy to go wrong. I don't know if wrong's quite the right word, but, stray from the path, I guess, would be a better way of putting it. Yeah. And I think, also another bit of advice would just be, don't be afraid to ask questions. Just question everything, because it'll help a lot.
Just stick at it, just keep going, really. There are jobs, if you're wanting to get into game audio, there are jobs. You've already made a decent decision. You just need to focus on your best skill and work on the other skills as you go.